Hello, good morning, and warm welcome, dear students, to your geography class. Today we will be starting a new lesson called Chapter 5 Ocean Currents. Ocean Currents, Part 1. Now, today's lesson is going to be very exciting, students. You are going to love and see lots of things. In this lesson, you will see everything about the ocean currents. Now, what are ocean currents? Ocean currents are described as the movement of water from one location to another. You can see here in the picture, in the map at the background. This is a map of the world, right? You all have seen the map of the world, and these are all the oceans and the seas: the Pacific Ocean, Indian Ocean, Atlantic Ocean. All the oceans, the waters are moving from one location to another. Now, there are two types of currents. They are called as warm currents and cold currents. There are warm currents which are in red, and the cold currents are in blue. Why is that? Do you know anything about it, students? There are two types of currents: warm currents and cold currents. First, let us look at it in an activity. Now, this is an interactive video. I want you to take the mobile. You can move left and right, up and down, see all around. It's a 360-degree video. Alright, the link will be given in the description below where you can do it. Now, in the first video, this is the first video called Stormy Ocean. You have to look at the stormy ocean and observe what is happening. Alright. Wow, you all must be surprised now looking at the ocean, how terrific and how terrifying it is. Now I want to tell me what was happening in the ocean, in the stormy ocean current. Now let's go to the next part. The next activity is surfing on the waves. Now we will now swim. We will now swim on the waves with the surfer. In the previous class I told you about a surfer. It's a sport, right? Happens near the beach area. There's a surfboard and there's a surfer, I told you. So today we will go actually surfing in this video. I want you to follow. There will be one surfer who will be explaining about the waves. I want you to follow the instructions and tell me what you see. You can use the video in the description below also. Alright.
Hey guys, my name is Kyle Tierman, and today we're going to go surfing. Look out there, some great little waves to learn how to surf. I'm going to be going through a few things. I'm going to be going through how to correctly assess ocean conditions. I'm going to be going through the most effective way to start paddling. I'm going to be going through how to catch a wave. And the really cool thing about this is that we can be looking all around, and we can actually learn how to read a wave in a way that you can't normally do that when you can just see me. So I'm encouraging you to look all around during this lesson, and it's going to be pretty fun. So first thing you want to do before anything else when learning how to surf is just look at the ocean. See, is this a good day for me to go surfing? Right here today, the waves are breaking over there and they're breaking over there. The reason for that is because the reef is shallower in those parts. So if you look out there, you can see some guys surfing. You might see a little set coming in. Same with way up the peak up there. Right through the center here is the channel. That's the deep water spot. It's where the water comes in, hits the beach, it refracts, and it goes straight back out there. So most times you're going to want to be entering the water where the channel is. And if you don't know where the channel is, ask someone. To start out, follow the arrows so that you're facing me. And let's take a look at the best technique for paddling out into the waves. As you can see, when I paddle, I cup my hands and I pull myself forward. I like to think about paddling not like you're pushing yourself, but like you're pulling yourself, like you're climbing a rope. It's the same as a freestyle stroke. I cup my hands, push through the water, and gain a nice rhythm. Whew. This is a very good day to learn how to surf. Waves are small, green. Look over there, you can see someone on a wave. Look, they're going left. We could whip it and try and go on this wave, but we're going to wait for a bigger one. Now, make sure you're still facing me, because here's the fun part. Actually catching a wave. As I'm paddling for this wave, see how I'm constantly looking back? That's because you always want to check where you are in relation to the wave. Now, as I feel the wave start to pick me up, I push up, put my dominant foot back, and stand up. As I pop up, you'll see that I keep a low center of gravity. A big mistake that new surfers make is that they'll pop up, stand straight up, and fall over. Let's go back and look at that wave again. But this time, I want you to follow the arrows around the front of the surfboard, away from me. When the video speeds up, stay facing the front, but try glancing over your shoulder like you saw me do. Okay, let's try it. This is really going to give you a sense of what it's like to line up with a wave. You face forward to paddle, but keep checking behind you so that you know when it's time to pop up. So that you know when it's time to pop up. And just like that, we're off. Let's watch it pop up one last time. And now follow the arrows around to my left. You can see that I actually made a mistake. I did what's called burning someone. I took off on a wave that someone else was already on. The first surfer on a wave always has the right of way. But luckily, this guy was cool about it. Let's catch another wave. On this one, I turn back and forth a bit. You can look down at my feet to see how I'm doing this. It's subtle, but what I'm doing is I'm pivoting my weight off of my back foot and leaning in the direction that I'm turning. Again, your dominant foot should always go in the back, and I shift my weight around that foot to turn. I want to go back to that wave one more time and show you another thing I missed when I was on this wave. If you look behind me right now, you can see another surfer fall and hit a kayaker. This is what I'm talking about when I say constant awareness. You're not going to be the only one out in the water, and you've got to be aware of other surfers and swimmers. So there are a couple pointers for you, but really to fully learn how to surf, you've actually got to get out in the water and practice. Practice, practice, practice. But in the meantime, let's take one more ride. Thanks you guys for coming surfing with me today. It's a fantastic sport and I hope you get into it. I'd encourage you to look back and see some of the waves that we caught together from different angles, and hopefully it'll give you a little bit more insight into how to get out there and do this sport yourself.
Children, I hope you have liked these activities. I wanted to find out some information about these activities. Right, first thing, in the first video I told you what did you observe in the first video about the stormy current, ocean current. And second one, I wanted to tell me what you saw in this surfing activity. This sport, what is the sport about, and what did you see in this second part. Alright, thank you.
Welcome back, my dear students, in another session of class 8 geography, and today we are going to learn chapter 5th, ocean currents. Some important points from this topic. The very first point that we are going to learn about the ocean currents. The next, horizontal or surface ocean currents, effect of the ocean surface currents on human life, deep ocean currents, and importance of deep ocean current. So what is ocean currents? So ocean currents are the permanent rivers of water which flow in a definite direction from the one part of the ocean to the other, and that is called ocean current. These are like the rivers in the ocean. Try this. The following activity should be carried out by the students under the supervision of teachers. Material required for this activity is a large metal tray, spirit lamp, water, and plastic sequence. Keep a large metal tray on a stand. Fill it with water. After the water becomes still, leave the sequence in them. After some time, the sequence will start floating in the water and become still too. Observe all these things. After some time, light up the spirit lamp and place it below one corner of the tray. Now observe what happens. On the basis of observation, discuss your opinion regarding the experiments and consider the following questions for the same. What did you understand initially by observing the sequence? Answer: when the sequence live in the water, they start floating in the water. After some time, the sequence becomes still. When the temperature of water starts increasing, what changes did you see? Answer. As the temperature of water increases, the plastic sequence moves from the one place to another. Observe the movement of sequence. Answer. The sequence starts moving in circular motion. There is a movement of this sequence because of the flow of water. What conclusion drawn from the same? Answer. As the temperature rises, the density of water decreases and it becomes lighter. Therefore, the water having lower temperature, which is heavier, replaces the water with higher temperatures. Where can such processes take place on the Earth's surface? Answer. Such processes take place in the seas and the oceans. What are those processes and why do they happen? Answer. These processes are called ocean currents and they happen because of sun's heat and increasing the temperature. Geographical explanation. As the temperature of water increases, the plastic sequence moves from one place to another. As the temperature rises, the density of water decreases and it becomes lighter. And therefore, the water having lower temperature, which is heavier, replaces the water with higher temperature. After some time, the sequence starts moving in circular motion. There is a movement of the sequence because of flow of water. Can you tell? A very strange incident occurred in the Pacific Ocean in the year 1992. A cargo ship sailed towards America from the Hong Kong. While traveling through the Pacific Ocean near the Hawaii Island, a container full of toys fell into the ocean and broke. Around 28,000 rubber toys started floating on the ocean. This incident occurred on the 10th January 1992. A strange thing happened after around 10 months on 16th November 1992. Some of these toys reached the coast of Alaska. Some of them crossed the Bering Strait and moved up to the Arctic Ocean by the year 2000. Some of them also floated to the Atlantic Ocean from the Arctic Ocean and reached to the eastern coast of America in the year 2003. And some of the toys had even reached the European coast by the 2007. From the Hawaii Islands, some toys took the route to the Australia. See the figure 5.3, 5.2 which is given in your book. See the picture. The toys, rubber toys, are floating on the ocean water. Why did the toys travel in this way? Answer. The toys travel because of ocean currents. Surface ocean currents and deep ocean currents. Geographical explanation. The ocean water can be divided into two parts based on the depth. Surface water and the deep water means surface currents and the deep currents. These are the types of currents. The first is the upper layer extends up to the 500 meters from the sea level. And the second below 500 meters depth. The region from the sea level to the depth of 500 meters is considered to be the surface water. Sunlight can reach till this depth. The movements in this layer occur mainly due to the differences in the temperature and salinity. If the water temperature is low, that time the movements of water also low. And when temperature is high, movements of water increases. Water salinity also affects on the movements of ocean water. The planetary winds give speed to the ocean currents. Surface currents. Surface currents, also known as the horizontal ocean currents. The flow on the surface of the ocean moves only 10% of the oceanic water. The surface flow is considered up to 500 meters of the depth. The discharge of water in the ocean is measured in the Swedrup unit. The currents flow from the equator to the poles and from the poles to the equator. These currents are pushed to the long distances by the planetary winds. Remaining part of this lesson, remaining part of this point, we will see in the next video.